Exciting times ahead as the world's largest Honda store nears completion. Today, we sit down with Chase Rohrman and Matt Ashford, the leaders responsible for the entire store's operations, to discuss what this move means for their employees and their loyal customers. Buckle up and get ready for another unforgettable ride on the Driving Relationships podcast.
3, 2, 1.
Quiet on the set, pick 73.
Exciting moment. You just moved the first car into the showroom at the world's largest Honda store. What did that feel like?
It was truly a special feeling, working for the Rohrman Automotive Group for the last 28 years and, hearing about that we were going to build this building and finally then getting it done.
Yep.
And then being able to be the first person to pull a new car onto this showroom. Truly a fantastic honor. I loved it.
Yeah, we still got a little bit of work to do, but you guys are planning to move. So probably by the time this out, you're going to be moved in. What do you think that's going to be like?
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be lots to, little, ins and odds and all of that that are going to need to really be taken care of. But I am just excited for it. I'm excited for our customers, to come into this facility and enjoy it. It's going to be so much fun. And, of course, for our employees to be able to sell cars out of here, going to be magnificent.
You mentioned 28 years with the company. When was the first time you saw a blueprint for a new Schaumburg Honda store? I would go to either of you.
And then the question is, were they actually blue when you guys first saw them, or were they out on paper?
So this is actually a very true story. In 1996, I was hired by the Rohrman Automotive Group at Schaumburg Honda for a sales position. And at the end of the interview, we stood up and shook hands, and he had said thank you and that we're looking forward. I was going to start on that Monday. And he said, and don't worry about this building, we're getting a new one. So on the very first day that I was hired, I heard about the new building 28 years ago.
He didn't lie, though.
It's true. It's not a lie.
Don't worry about the building. We're getting a new one.
And it was not a lie.
And now it's here.
Yes, now it's here. It's fantastic.
So the question that I have for you guys is, what did the next 48 hours look like?
Probably won't see my bed.
That's good. That's a first start. Good answer.
We still have business to conduct at the old store.
Yeah.
And as soon as that business is done, then we're going to start moving everything over here and testing and getting operationally ready. So my wife sees me, it'll be a miracle.
I would have figured you had her employed this weekend over here moving stuff. So
I'll try to put her on the payroll.
there
yes.
you go. I like that.
Chase, I have a question for you. So Honda was one of your grandfather's first franchises in Chicagoland area. Like, what do you think he would say if he was here to be able to see this?
Ooh, babe.
Ooh, babe, this is a nice store. We're going to sell a lot of cars out of this one.
Yeah.
I think that he would probably have a moment of reflection and just look back at what he built in 1986 when he opened Schaumburg Honda. And to go from that location and that store, that building to this one, it'd just be a time of reflection and gratitude.
Well, it's amazing to see the family, carrying on that legacy with this store, with the city of Schaumburg, right? So what do you think this means to the city, to your customers with this facility now?
Yeah, I think our customers they've been patient.
Yeah.
Because not only when we hire folks do we say, hey, for the last 20 odd years, we're getting a new store. So just hold on tight.
Yeah.
We've said that to our customers as well.
Yeah.
We're getting a new store. Yeah. Don't worry, there'll be more than one service bay soon.
Yeah.
Now soon is here. So we're excited to share that with our customers. We're excited to give them the experience that they deserve for being loyal to us for a long time. And now we can give back a little bit. So
I think it's going to be a crazy experience for you, Matt, in the operations side of the number of customers that are still going to go to the old facility, even with all the advertising, all the marketing you guys are going to do. And they're going to be like, no, it actually opened. Like, it's here. It finally happened. So.
Chase brings it up. Our customers have been so patient, and some of our most loyal customers, it's always said with a little bit of a smile, like, when are you moving? When are you officially going to go?
Yeah.
And now I'm able to finally say now. And
officially, first car in.
Officially, and it's really a wonderful feeling. And to be able to tell customers that you're selling in the old building, your first oil change will be in our new facility.
That's
or
cool.
Somebody's coming in for an oil change. It's like, this is your last oil change here. It's been really wonderful to actually say that, and especially to our long-lasting customers who have kind of chuckled a little bit. It's like, when are you finally moving? And we finally are, and it's really great. It's really fantastic.
So we talked a lot about the capacity with the service department and how we feel like we can handle more customers, which means more convenience, more flexibility for service times. What does this do for the sales team? Like, what does it do for the customers in terms of, are you getting more inventory? Are you going to carry more? I would imagine with the store, right? Is Honda going to give you more cars?
Yeah, the beauty of opening a beautiful building like this is that Honda will give us some more cars. And we're going to have, very lofty goals Schaumburg Honda for many years was the #1 store in the Midwest, and there is no question that our goal is to return this facility back to that seat, to #1 in the Midwest, and we are certainly capable of it. From the customer standpoint, though, we have so much more waiting area, so much more comfortable area. We have a beautiful play area that's going to be put together for when you have to bring your kids. I think there's going to be people that are going to come here to either buy a car or service their car and not want to leave.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, we're all done. And the kids are going to be like playing, and we might have a, temper tantrum in our play area where the kids go like, we don't want to leave. And, we've had such the opposite experience sometimes when, kids run out of gas at the old store and there's nothing to entertain them anymore. So this is really going to be fantastic.
I know if I was up here, I would probably walk my kids in and say, all right, take care of them. I'm going to go down the road for a little bit, right?
Summer camp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure.
We joked with the fix guys, like, when you go to a restaurant, you get those little buzzers that say when your table's ready.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have to give that, like, when 30 minutes past their service visits up. Like, hey, you've been here 30 minutes. It's time for you to leave our facility now. That's the most time you're allowed to stay.
We might actually have to, charge admission or something to our play area or something.
so
I don't know
funny.
what we're going to do.
It was crazy just being able to see the old facility. We were up a couple weeks ago to get just kind of the layout and see it, and then come here. Just the lighting alone, just the feel, the atmosphere, the environment. I think someone who walks in here is probably going to spend their first service visit just in awe. So how are you guys going to facilitate kind of that and just touring the facility? How does that kind of look?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to put a process in for tour guiding.
Yeah.
Quite honestly.
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to want to get shown around the property, which we totally understand. We want to do that. It's part of the experience. So I know that Matt and I will work closely on putting that together. But to go back to your last question, I think that to have the indoor parking garage with over 300 spaces available in there, I mean, that is very unique
For sure.
in the Chicagoland area. So I am super excited about being able to show customers cars in inclement weather, park cars indoors, have deliveries inside. I think that is a next level of customer experience that we're really blessed to be able to offer.
And what I hear there, Matt, is you have no excuse for selling cars in bad weather now.
That is exactly correct. Yes, I've
When
lost
it
all
snows,
excuses.
you are done for. Everyone else has an
100%.
excuse.
and I hope that comes true 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, I think we're going to call it the your shoes won't get wet delivery.
Yeah, I like it.
And it's going to be really fantastic. Literally, our customers will be able to come inside and never have to worry about any inclement weather out there. And from operationally, not having to clean off those 300 cars
that's a good point.
with snow or plow around them, it makes us so much more efficient and ready for our customers. Even if it's a blizzard the day before, you can come to Schaumburg Honda and we're going to be ready for you the next day and inside.
So the question I have is, do you guys know what the square footage is of the current building? We know it's advertised 173,000 square feet here. I would assume.
I believe it's 48,000 square feet is the number that I know.
It's almost a 5-time increaser on physical space.
It's enormous. I think the word I keep using is immense.
Yeah.
And it looks big from the street, and then if you've ever watched those Harry Potter movies where they walk into the tent and it's enormous inside, I feel like I'm walking into that Harry Potter tent, and it's like there's a whole group of people and family in there, and everybody's having dinner and hanging out by the couch or whatever. And so
too funny.
that's what I feel like when I walk in here, like it's a Harry Potter tent.
I mean, have you thought about even just communicating in this building? Like walkie-talkies? I mean, how are we going to handle that?
Yes, that is absolutely so. Walkie-talkies are in order. We're trying to figure out organizationally, and that's what I'll be working with Chase very closely, processes to make sure that we have the right amount of people in the right places. Because as big as it is, it could be challenging if if we don't have the people in the right spot. So we want to make sure that those processes are in place and that we execute on those for our customers and for ourselves.
Guys, the question I have for both of you is, how do you handle that move? Like, I feel like there's got to be so many unknowns about the organizational side. Just coming to a facility like this 5 times bigger than where you've currently been, it's probably pretty easy to look across the show and be like, Mike, stop doing that. Get over here. And now we're talking about size. So, is it trial and error? Do we have a plan and process? Is it truly, hey, we'll figure it out Monday? We aren't for sure yet.
Yeah, I think step one is to get everything we need from the old store to the new store.
Yeah.
We have also been super blessed with a lot of generous employees that are willing to give up their Saturday nights, Sunday mornings to get the store,
cool.
get all the things that we need to run a business over here. And then from that point on, I think a lot of it is kind of just trial and error until we find
Probably has to be.
the best process. I think that we'll find some things that will surprise us.
Yes.
And then a few items we'll be ready for. that we'll have to just
Think back to
immediately-
this too. I think this is so cool hearing about people volunteering. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, this store opens. Was the culture of Rohrman Automotive in a place where people would have said, I'm in, I want to be a part of this? Or would they have just said, good luck, Matt, we'll see you on Monday?
Yeah, it would have probably been a little bit more challenging, no question. And, you speak to the culture, and it's really great because we have just some extremely dedicated employees here that are, committed to, the Rohrman Automotive group, and it's fantastic. And, like Chase said, they're giving up, their Saturday night, and we have Bears football here wherever this is airing on Sunday. So maybe some people won't be Bears fans, but most of my crew is.
Yeah.
And they're giving up their Sunday morning that they would have been tailgating or doing whatever for the Bears. So, I mean, if you want to talk about dedication from your employees, they're willing to give up the opening day Sunday Bears
crazy.
football for this operation and for this store opening.
And in
That's
most years, that wouldn't be a big deal to give up opening Sunday Bears football. But this year, there's a vibe behind it, right?
There's there's some excitement this year. So.
There's some excitement this year. We're feeling better about our chances this year. We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of staff, so obviously it's a much bigger building. We talked about that. What sort of roles are you going to look to hire in staff as you move into this building? Are there some that you already have in your mind where you're like, hey, if there's somebody out there that feels like they're a top performer in this area, like reach out, talk to us. You can work at the world's largest Honda store. Like, how cool would that be to say?
Yeah, I think that this facility is naturally going to draw some really great talent. And if they want to come work for us, we are, welcome them with open arms for sure. As far as like different positions and things like that, yes, I think that there may be even a tour guide at some point. There might be a customer relations manager specifically for the service drive or whatever. And I think that we'll kind of grow into those organically, like you were talking about processes. We're bringing our entire team over here, and we have a pretty good sized team. But clearly for this facility, it will grow. And I'm excited for those new positions. Like those offer promotions. And, as a general manager, your best days are when you get to shake someone's hand and say, hey, this is your new role at the store. And I look forward to those. And I'm going to have so many of those coming up in probably the next 6 months to 12 months that I'm going to have a lot of great days here at Schaumburg Honda.
Yeah.
I think from an operational standpoint, the question that I'm sure everybody would want to know is like, where do you guys foresee this going on the sales side? Is it a 10% increase, 50%, 30%? Again, I think there's got to be kind of a vision for that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the roles that we've scaled for before the building is done. We're ready as far as salespeople. We're ready to jump in the new store. Kind of the same back in service. We're ready. Technician wise, we've been hunting and hiring and putting people on the pending list. Hey, we're opening soon. And so we're ready back in service as well for the uptick in business as well. But I foresee, at least a 15 to 20% immediate boost.
That'd be awesome
when we move into this location. And then I think we'll scale from there. We'll scale depending on roles, depending on where we see fit. But yeah, I would say something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and obviously my goals are higher than that to do more than 15 or 20%. In the immediate, but again, that number one goal is to be number one in the Midwest again, and that would put us probably top 10 in the nation, and then we can maybe hunt even. This store may even be a number one in the nation type store.
You have the opportunity for it.
We certainly do, and it's not something that is off my radar, and that's the beauty. Now it's a lot of work to get there. It's going to take a lot of dedication. But we're ready for it.
Well, the good news is they built the ceiling so high you could hang one heck of a banner in here if you became the number one store. I mean, you could have like a 98 Bulls banner in here for the number one store in the nation. I mean,
You really could. Yeah.
It could be pretty impressive.
One big banner or lots of small ones.
I think we'll have, I think we can, like have a banner unveiling ceremony like at the beginning of each year when we win and let it roll down, and
goes from
pull
Midwest to the nation. I think it'd be a big one. So.
Yeah. Like if you're a great basketball team, you have all those Final Four up there or whatever.
Yeah, I
but
think it'd be cool.
like a top 5 or number one. I think
for sure.
I think that would be fantastic.
When we were in service, we were talking about your fixed team, and I thought the way they put it was so well said. And then I'm going to share it and then kind of go from there for you guys. Like, we asked the same question, like, what does this opportunity provide for your staff? And again, hearing 15 to 20% increase, like that could be 15 to 20% increase in their personal income. And like, what a difference we can make in that. And then on top of it being like, hey, there's still meat on the bone to bring in top talent. And look at that opportunity, because I've learned in my business experience that when I win as a store, everybody wins as well.
Yeah.
And that it becomes contagious. And that opportunity of having a facility like this to see the number of people on a construction day, the final minutes before you guys come in here that are fired up. and us going like, hey, I don't know if it's ready. And they're like, we're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming in this facility. Like that environment with customers becomes contagious. And the opportunity for that, for someone to walk in that maybe not happy with their current career and go, I'm now working at the world's largest Honda dealership, and an opportunity that may not come around ever again for them. So where do you guys foresee this 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? I know we talked number one. Do you guys see this being number one in service as well? I think that's kind of the physical footprint that you walk around and see.
Yeah, I would say, to answer the first part of your question, talent brings in talent.
Yeah,
You know,
for
so
sure.
We search for roles and we search for individuals that are top tier talent, because that really is the draw of, you know, higher level, higher performance individuals. And also performance is your best word. It's your best advertising.
Yeah.
You know, all the salespeople, technicians, they all know a lot of people, and word travels fast.
Yeah.
When performance is high. So our goal is going to be a top performing store. That's going to be our battle cry for hiring and recruiting top level talent.
That's cool.
Yeah, and you know, echoing that, it's just, again, it's that cyclone up of just positive energy, positive talent, positive results, and it just keeps building on itself. And as long as you keep adding, you know, positive people, positive talent,
cool.
you know, we're just going to continue to build. And I'm so excited. I mean, I'm so excited for Monday, you know, when this opens. But when you talk about 3 years and 5 years, my hair actually on the back of my neck stands up even more because it's something that if we do it right, which we are going to, it's going to make what we do on Monday look, you know, minuscule.
Yeah, for
quite
sure.
frankly, and it will be so far in the rearview mirror that we'll kind of be chuckling about. Oh, remember when we opened and we only got a 20% bump, and now look at us.
Yeah.
You know, it's. And I think that the last part of that is when you have top tier talent, that the customer experience is the best.
For sure.
You know, when you have someone who's the best at what they do, they can explain it to the customer better. You know, and that whole customer experience, whether that's in service or in sales or in parts or wherever it may be, that's where the win is for our customer.
For sure.
I mean, there's really, depending on how big, you know, we were talking about how many cars a day can go through service. There's a chance you could serve 5,000 customers a month, right?
Yes, sir.
Between service and sales. So what a huge opportunity, like you said, for talent, but also, you know, for the customers, if you do this right, I mean, what an impact that's going to have for the city of Schaumburg and even just surrounding areas, right? For them to be able to say, we have one of the world's largest Honda stores in our backyard.
Yeah, it's a big draw, and I think that really the sky is the limit at a store like this with this location.
Yeah, the location's phenomenal too.
Gulf Road, it's one of the best roads in the country to sell cars on, to service on. Schaumburg's one of the biggest suburbs in Chicagoland area. Over 10 million people in Chicagoland area. So the sky's the limit. The people are there.
Yeah.
The building now is there. So now we just got to give the level of customer experience and hold on to our customers and give them a lot of good reasons to come back.
So Matt, general manager of the store, you've been there for a long time. What is the message that you have to say to your customers, just in terms of like a welcome message to the new store? What would you like to say to them right now?
Well, first off, welcome, and come service, come buy a car from us.
Yeah.
As wonderful as our facility is, and I know that you're going to enjoy it, whatever customer walks through the door, one thing that I will hold true to is that it's not necessarily about the four walls, but the people inside of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hold true to that principle, regardless of how amazing this facility is and how much fun you'll have here servicing and buying your car or getting parts. It's all about the people inside it that's going to make it truly special. So come meet our people, come enjoy our facility, and welcome.
To the world's largest Honda dealership. How cool would that be?
It's a special feeling, truly amazing.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. We'll let you get back to work because this place we got like 48 hours left. Let's go. What are we doing here?
Yeah, we got chop chop.
We're
Let's
wasting
go.
time.